Pokemon card prices are volatile. And when you're running a trading card business and you are selling trading cards on a regular basis and you are moving through a bunch of inventory, going to card shows or your eBay store or anything, a really good idea is to track your inventory and keep an eye on what the prices are doing. Because if you have inventory in your showcases that have the wrong prices, then you're going to have a harder time selling those cards. If you're way over market, even if it's only 5%, people are going to look at the price and be like, well, I know that card's off. So you want to be updating your prices as you're going. So I really struggled with this for quite a while because I didn't realize how volatile the market was when I first started out. And getting into this the more that I do it, the more that I realize that prices go up and down and they fluctuate all the time. And I've known this for a while, and I've been keeping track of my prices just by pulling out a stack of cards with my sticker prices and going through and scanning every single card and seeing what the prices are and adjusting as I'm going. Well, I finally have a new tracking system, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I've got going on, and it makes things way easier. It's probably not groundbreaking. There are a million different apps out there, but I will show you my process on how I update my prices for each individual show moving forward. I just recently made this change, and I'm going to share it with you. Before we get into that, I will let you guys know my name is Dell, and I sling cardboard to feed my kids. I recently went into trading cards full time, and I'm sharing my journey along the way so that you guys can pick up tips and tricks from me, and we can bounce ideas off of each other and learn as I go and as you go. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. All right, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to tell you that I do is actually when I'm selling cards at card shows, I take a picture of every transaction. So if I sell a card, I have a picture of it so that when I get back home, and I write it down. I also write it down. I write it down. I write down the sale. I write down the number, the price, and I take a picture of every single card. That way, when I get home, I have the opportunity to go through my photos and match it to my new inventory tracking system. And my inventory tracking system is being kept on polkadata.io. It's a great website. There are many websites. I actually personally also use Collector for my sealed inventory, which is actually just for my personal sealed inventory. I have a collection that I've been collecting for the last few years, and it's more of an investment side of things, so I try to keep that separate on my Collector app. And there's also a really good app called Price Charting, and it does really well as well. All of these apps track TCG Player and eBay. I personally like using Polkadata for my singles inventory and my card show inventory. And what I do is I go back after my show, I'll come home and I will go through all my photos and I'll see what sold. Like I just take a picture on my display cases with the cash so I can keep track of the money, and a picture of the card so I can keep track of what card it is. After I do that, I go into my app on my phone and I pull each individual card and I sell it on the app. I show that it is sold and it removes it from my inventory, and then everything is right there. The great thing about this is it keeps track of pricing. So when I'm going to price before a show, typically what I used to do is I'd scan with price charting. I'd scan every single card and I'd see, all right, has it changed? Has it changed? Has this one changed? Has that one changed? And as my inventory has grown, it just is super time consuming to do that. So to make things a lot faster, I went through and put the time in to upload everything onto polkadata.io. And now my entire inventory for Pokemon singles is already uploaded, and the prices change as the market changes. And I can go through my inventory the night before the show, maybe a couple days before the show. Typically, that's what I do, because it takes a lot of time to go through and reprice everything. So I'll go through, I'll pull out every card. I'll just match it up to my app and see what the prices have done. If things have changed, I'll re-sticker it and it'll go back in, and it's made things way faster to do it that way. So there are multiple different ways to do this. You can do it on desktop and you can do it on your phone. Typically, I do most of the work on my phone, but I'm going to show you on my desktop today exactly how I do things. It depends on what I've got going on, if I'm using the desktop or the app. I'm actually recording on my phone, so we won't show you on my phone today. But I'll show you exactly what I do on the desktop so you can see exactly what's going on. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you here is you're going to come into polkadata.io. That is the website you're going to go to. I'll also leave a link down below so that you can go to the App Store and download it for yourself. I'll also link Collector and TCG Player, or excuse me, not TCG Player, Collector and Price Charting. Both of those work really well as well. So it's all just in how you want to do it. Like I said, I use all three for different things. So they're all great apps and they all connect to eBay and TCG Player. This is just the one that I have personally decided to use for my inventory tracking. As you can see here, we're in my collection. So I clicked on your collection, and right here is my portfolio. It's almost $20,000 worth of cards, and I have 354 cards in my inventory right now. This is just my trading card show inventory. So this is my singles inventory. It includes slabs and just raw cards as well. Let's go ahead and click on it so that you can see the price changes. This is pretty much it. It goes with the market, and it also changes as you're removing cards and adding cards. So I recently had a show. I just pulled some stuff out. So that was what this dip was. And down here, you can see exactly what my inventory is. So this right here, this card right here is a PSA 10 that I just recently added. And here's the market price on sales, on what have actually happened. You can come up here to sales history and click on that. And that, as my slow internet takes hold here, you get pricing, real life pricing, and it shows you exactly what the sold prices are. Actually, a 10 just sold for $1,200 recently, and it was selling for $1,500 down here. So it's gonna drop. The price has actually dropped now that this eBay sale has happened. It says no title, so it might have not have actually gone through. But we'll worry about that some other time. Anyways, it shows you the TCG Player pricing, and it shows you the eBay sales. You can go to each individual one, and it'll take you to TCG Player, it'll take you to eBay, and you can track everything that you've got going on there. So we're going to go back to the portfolio and show you exactly everything in here. So there's a bunch. I mean, obviously, I've got raw cards, I've got PSA graded cards, everything. You can just add it as you're going. I actually have a stack of cards here that I'm going to add, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to go through every single card. There is a bunch in here, but I will show you exactly what's going on. Okay, so the easiest way to do this is we've got a Starmie here, and we're going to go up and search it. So I'll go Starmie, and then I'll enter the card number, which is 118088. And right here, I searched it up here in this bar. And now you come right here, and there's the card that I'm looking for, and I'm going to add it to my inventory. You can track the pricing. You can see that the price is down. Here's the TCG Player price, which is actually how I price my cards. And I'm going to go to Add Portfolio. Now, you can change what you paid for this. So if you want to get really deep into things, you can actually put in what you paid for it. I don't get that deep, at least not yet. Maybe eventually I will, but right now I'm just going to use the market price. I have one card, and I'm going to add it to my inventory. It tells you down here that it's added to your inventory, and now you can actually go back to your collection and find that card. So we know we just added a Starmie, so let's come here to find a card and look Starmie. And there it is. Now it's in my inventory. And as the price changes, it will go through and it will track it for me, and I can sticker my card. I can write $48 on my sticker, $48. I will stick that to the sleeve and put it down in here, and it'll be ready to go. Okay, there it is right there. It is stickered and ready to go. And now, in a couple weeks, if this card doesn't sell at my next card show, I can come through and I can double check my price. And if the price has gone up to, say, $50, I will pull the sticker off and I'll put a new one on that says 50, or if it goes down to 40, or whatever the price, whatever it might be, I can easily come up and find that card. I grabbed a couple of random cards here. Funny that I grabbed two rainbows, but it was just what I grabbed out of my case really quick. All right, let's go ahead and quickly look these up and show you how easy it is to find this stuff. All right, so we know we have a Garchomp Giratina GX. So as I did before, I'm going to come here to my portfolio and search for this card. And it is, we're just going to look Garchomp. And there we go. It pulls up every Garchomp that I have. And it tells you right here what the price is. And my price is correct. So it has not changed. And we're going to move on to a PSA graded card. Now you can do PSA 9, you can do PSA 10, you can do them all. This should be the only one of this card I have. Regidargo. How do you pronounce that? Call me crazy, but I don't know every Pokemon's name. Regidrago. All right, let's look that up. Okay, and there it is. Now I have two of these. One of them is a PSA 10, and one of them is a raw card. And right here I have $90 on my sticker. And it says it's worth $70. Now, let's go in and see if that is accurate. Now, it is accurate. This is an estimate of what the prices are. But let's go ahead and look at detailed sales history, and I'll show you why I had it as $90. So you can come up here, and you can change what is actually displayed. So you can come up here and remove raw cards, TCG player, and PSA 9. And we know this is a PSA 10. So this shows you a history of all the PSA 10s that have sold. And right here is the reason why I priced it at 90. Now I would take less than 90 on it, but the most recent sale is for $90. So that is the reason why I stickered it for 90. I don't know, if it doesn't sell, I'll probably move the price down, but I'm going to go with the $90. Even though it's calling it a $70 card, I'm going to price it at 90. Okay, so simple, easy way to keep track of your inventory. Easy way to go ahead and add new inventory and pull old inventory as you're moving through things. It does take some upfront work where I had 350 cards that I had to go through the database and add every single individual card. That took me a few hours to do, probably 2-3 hours to go through every single card and add it to the database. But now that everything is added, I'm not going to sell through 350 cards in every card show. It'd be nice if I did, but I'm not going to. So now that everything is in there, I can just quickly go through, reprice, pull out inventory that's sold, add new inventory, and so on and so forth. And it makes everything way easier on my end. Now, as I said, I will also give you an update if I come across a good way to track sports. I know there are multiple different tracking systems out there for that as well. I personally use Card Ladder. I'm going to mess around with that and try to make things work. I know the Parallels was a little bit funky for me, so I'm going to give it a shot though, and we'll see what happens with it. And I will let you know once I get that up and going. As always, I really appreciate you checking out my content. Hopefully you pick up some tips and tricks along the way, and I think this is an excellent way to track. It's a lot cleaner, it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot cheaper than some of the other systems out there. I'm cheap, man. I try to save $1 everywhere I can, and this is the best option that I've come up with that is free. So, and like I said, you don't have to use Polkadata. There is other apps out there that work almost as well, or maybe even better. But this is the one that I personally use. And I also, like I said, I use Collector and I use price charting also. They all work really well, and I actually use all three of them. But this is how I track my cards for going to card shows. All right, guys, I really appreciate you checking it out, and I'll let you know what I come up with on the sports side. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.